Oh, okay. That's the way it is. Okay. Oh, we're live. Sorry. I was just trying to adjust my chair so I'm not in the way of my singing spectator. So we're back again. We're reading Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So we're on chapter 3, and the title is, If You're Wrong, Admit It. Don't get yourself into arguments. If you know you're wrong, admit it. It'll save you a lot of headaches. So let's get into the book. Within a minute, walk of my house, so in a minute walk of my house, there was a wild stretch of virgin timber where the blackberries thickens formed white in the springtime, where the squirrels nested and where they're young. And the house weeds grew as tall as the house head. I frequently walked in this park with Rex, my little Boston bulldog. He was a friendly, harmless little hound, and since we rarely met anyone in the park, I took Rex along without a leash or a muzzle. One day we encountered a mounted policeman in the park, a policeman itching to show his authority. What do you mean by letting that dog run loose in the park without a muzzle and leash? He reprimanded me. Don't you know it's against the law? Wow, this is way back then. Yes, I know it is, I replied softly, but I didn't think it would do any harm out here. You didn't think? You didn't think that dog might kill a squirrel or bite a child? Now I'm going to let you off this time, but if I catch this dog out there again without a muzzle and a leash, you have to tell it to the judge. I merely promised to obey, and I did obey for a few times, but Rex didn't like the muzzle, and neither did I. So we decided to take a chance. Everything was lovely for a while. Then suddenly, to my dismay, I saw the majesty of the law astride a bay horse. Rex was out in front, heading straight for the officer. I was in for it. I knew it. So I didn't wait until the policeman started talking. I beat him to it. I said, Officer, you caught me red-handed. I'm guilty. I have no bias, no excuse. You warned me last week that if I brought the dog out there again without a muzzle, you would find me. Well, now the policeman responded in a soft tone. I tell you what, I'll tell you what you do. You just let him run over the hill there where I can't see him, and I'll forget about it. That policeman, being human, wanted a feeling of importance. So when I began to condemn myself, the only way he could nourish his self-esteem was to take the, the attitude of showing mercy. But suppose I had tried to defend myself. Well, did you ever agree? Oh, sorry, did you ever argue with a policeman? But instead of breaking lances with him, I admitted that he was absolutely right and I was absolutely wrong. I admitted it quickly, openly, and with enthusiasm. The affair terminated generously in my taking his side and his taking my side. If we know we are going to be rebuked anyhow, isn't it far better to beat the other person to it and do it ourselves? Isn't it much easier to listen to self criticism than to bear condemnation from an alien lips? Say about yourself all that derogatory things you know the other person is thinking, or what to say or intend to say, and say them before that person has a chance to say them. The chances are 100 to 1 that a generous, forgiving attitude will be taken for your mistakes, will be minimized just as the mounted policeman did with me and Rex. Remember the old proverbs: by fighting, you never get enough, but by yielding, you get more than you expected. Principle number 3: if you are wrong, admit it quickly. And if it's I don't, uh, man, these old words, never heard them before. Epahapa. Can I spell it to you? No, I read the book, page 70. So EMPHATICALLY. Sorry about that, but I'm normal. I'm just a normal person trying to give you help, trying to help you. And I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. You got to understand that when you're on your road to success, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to be making mistakes. You're going to have things that you don't understand. It's good just to open your mind to it and try not to hide it or fight with it. It's like the book was saying about it. Admit when you're wrong. If you can admit when you're wrong, it soothes the argument, especially with your spouse. If you admit, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that. And then it goes over a lot easier for you and for your spouse, or for any situation, friend, your boss. It's a lot easier to admit to your boss you're doing wrong than your boss trying to get that authority over you, or you're giving that person to have authority over you. So don't give up the fight. Fight for yourself. Hey, thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're checking out my videos on the power of success and where I'm creating 1 million millionaires. You can be one of them to your awesome success. Have an awesome day.